Hey, soul surfers, River here. So happy to be with you in this session. Thank you so much for joining us. And we are here to help us flex our body, mind, heart, soul, spirit, emotions, and intuition. And at the least, we hope to cause harm to none. And at the most, we hope we may assist you on your healing path. And jumping right in, we talked yesterday in yesterday's session about the law of rhythm, and I brought this beautiful drum to play, and perhaps it was challenging to hear over me. And also I forgot some bits and pieces, so I wanted to follow up on that. And you see, this has two sides. Two different strings with balls attached that can hit either side. Sometimes you can get one to hit or the other to hit. And this law of rhythm is one of the universal laws that you may find interesting, as I do. And there is sacred geometry to go along with it in the form of the star. I don't know if you can see the star that our person thankfully graphed onto this piece, and each point of the star represents a different one of the universal laws, which you can refer to on your own. But we were talking about the law of rhythm, and I also wanted to relate it to a pendulum swing, and how that when we are going one way or another, our pendulum swings, like from anger to joy. And the law of rhythm is reminding us to try to keep finding our center. And so over this rose quartz, this heart chakra stone, let us clear and clean. Thank you so much. And find our center. And right now the pendulum is just helping us clear away outdated beliefs, memories, work that you have completed, closing out that karma, streaming grace to replace. We all have been doing such amazing work, moving mountains with our minds and rebuilding a new life based in joy and love. And to honor that, we are offering this extra healing around our hearts and streaming grace in to replace, as that old chapter closes out all the childhood work you did, the primal wounds that you did, the work with your families and friends and communities that you did just inside your own space to help create a safer temple inside your own body and all around. And that is so beautiful. And so this law of rhythm, you can see the pendulum swinging down. Our cleansing, clearing, streaming grace is coming to a close for our heart. Thank you so much. We are truly grateful. And you may enjoy playing with the pendulum, taking some classes, learning how it works for you, but also just that notion of balancing out the swing. So those times when we are shown our anger, which is our sadness, our deep, profound sadness, finding ways to temper that so we're not swinging so wildly from anger, extreme anger, to extreme joy. We're finding our center, our balance, and the universe is honoring that and respecting that and reflecting that back to us. And so that is thrilling, a thrilling practice we can engage in using tools such as beautiful drums or pendulums or our own body. You can use your own body to find your sway, and that is super sweet. And I thought you may appreciate knowing more about that if you did not already know that law of rhythm. And then today, in this session, we have these sacred geometry cards by Emily Kasvarda that I am so excited to share with you. These sacred geometry healing cards that I have found So beautiful and so transformative. And Emily, her essence, her energy, her arts are just profoundly transformative. And perhaps you may enjoy tapping into her and her circles and allowing more people to assist you when you ask in different ways, even if you're doing it metaphysically. And so these sacred geometry cards, it's beautiful packaging, and we have the book and then the cards. And so let's pick a card today to see what may help us move forward, minding our business in the highest love and light. And you are a whole, full, powerful, loving, spiritual being. That was 528 hertz, if you're curious. And so am I. And we thank your source, spirit team, angels, ancestors, saints and sages, gods and goddesses, universes here for the highest love and light, as well as mine. And we thank your source and my source for immediately shifting the situations into what it needs to be, offering necessary insights, healings, acts of grace, protection. Heartily, we are grateful. And so it was, and so it was, and so it was, and so it was. Woo! Wow! I love that, because we had the 528 come out, pop out for a half a second, and now this other one that popped out sort of reflects that, as well as the bottom card, 42, joy, creating joy and happiness, and you can see that sacred geometry there. So beautiful, creating joy and happiness. This is what we're doing now that we're not force marching. We are on a mercy jubilee and an evolution revolution for justice, joy, and peace on earth and beyond. And so here is some of the sacred geometry that may go with that, and you may enjoy exploring the numbers, the numerology 4 and 2, also 6, partnering up with the divine, success in anything you do, that number 2, that number 4, solid and grounded, like a chair, keeping you stable. And the number 6, a number of service, allows you to differentiate between light and dark. The light containing intelligence about unconditional love, and the dark light holding intelligence about power. You're able to balance those out, see the difference between the two, and make choices that are in the highest love and light for you and those around you. Super sweet. And then the card that popped out, mirroring the 528 hertz, is the love frequency. And the number is 3. This is a master card, and you can see the helix, the spiraling DNA, the vector equilibrium in the middle of the two circles combined, the love frequency, self-love, and soulmate connection. So sweet. So let's see what this card has to share with us. And thank you so much for joining us in this session. This is thrilling to be collaborating with you in these ways. Number 3. So the affirmation that is associated with this sacred geometry is, I love you. And the love frequency is here to remind us that to live an amazing life and accomplish what we have come here to do, we first need to accept and love ourselves. Each of us needs to look into our inner core and into our hearts, see the beauty and love within ourselves so that we can work to our highest potentials in every aspect. Remember, others will treat you the way you treat yourself. To draw on this vibration, we have to find the love comfortably within. Love of self is such a pertinent aspect to everyday life, but how many of us actually stop and look in the mirror and see the true beauty of our soul essence? Do you stop and say, I love you to yourself? Do you see the true and pure essence of your spirit in all you are and what you have to offer yourself? Does your heart sing? The biggest gift we can give ourselves is to love ourselves unconditionally. This template is not only about the love of self, but the love of a soulmate. We all have a number of soul partners, whether it be a lover or a friend. The connection is made. It is a knowing that is felt in the depth of our heart and soul. A mirror image is found and formed. So sweet. The sacred geometry of this template is the Vesica Pisces. On the first day of Genesis, Spirit decided to create an exact replica of itself, a mirror image. Within the perimeter of the sphere, a second sphere was created in exact likeness. The Vesica Pisces, VP, was formed. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The VP is the area where the two spheres overlap. The area in the center is light, and the light was created through sound. It is also a representative of the all-seeing eye, the eye of God, the eye of Horus. I love that. Remember making the eye of God in Girl Scout camp with yarn. Glory be. Thank God for Girl Scouts, Girl Scout camp. Mom, who sent me to Girl Scout camp, led the Girl Scout troop. And Egypt, the eye of Horus, of course, connecting us all. So sweet. The symbolic intersection can be representation of the common ground or mutual understanding between individuals and is spiritually a mirror of the soul. The diamond shape in the center in 3 dimensions is the octahedron. This shape is one of the 5 platonic solids. It correlates to the heart chakra and works with the element of air. It is the perfect geometry to use as a representation of love in this template. Use love frequency to work with your heart and soul. Truly see the love that is within you. It is so much easier to give love to others than it is to ourselves, but it's crucial for our growth on every level. Spend 5 minutes a day for yourself. Stand in front of a mirror and see the beauty that stands before you. Know how much you are loved. If you are looking for your soulmate or are already in a partnership that needs attention, use this template with the intention of working on your relationships on all levels. Grids in the farthest right corner from your front door. Grid in the farthest right corner from your front door. You can place an intention, words, crystals, flowers, or anything that you identify as related to love of self or others, and state all your intentions clearly. And the numerology associated with this is 6, which we already discussed. And the crystal suggestions: rose quartz, pink kunzite, pink or watermelon tourmaline, tugdepite, emerald, and thulite, or thulite. And the animal medicine is wolf. And the essence, Emily shares her essences as well. You may really enjoy those. The essence is Solfeggio 528 Hertz essence. I love that because that card popped out as we were shuffling as well, the 528 Hertz. Pain Away Medicine Essence and Mune Key Medicine Essence. And what a beautiful message this reading for us. And it's reminding me just of that we were speaking to yesterday and how to ensure everyone succeeds, every student, including the parent, teacher, student, and so many of us in a position where we're trying to do the right thing, and maybe the right thing is not choosing a side. It's being kind. It's just being kind and not choosing a side. And, you know, my ancestors, my grandfather in Finland, my paternal grandfather in Finland participated in World War II that freed so many people from handicapable to Jewish to Romani, Gypsy, Sinti, all tribes. Yet when he came back and tried to reestablish his life, those standards didn't work, tore his family apart, and ended up casting me off, disowning part of his family because of my Romaniness. And on my adoptive side, my maternal and paternal grandfathers both participated in World War II. And one of them came back and wouldn't even use any words associated with that activity. He was such a wordsmith, a brilliant creative artist, and both of them came back and their families weren't the same. They lost their families. They left their families behind. The standards that were quote unquote successful in a war sabotaged adoption of success within their own homes. And so perhaps shifting from low expressions of adoption where there is war, where we adopt, and we adopt animals, babies, cultures, land, outer space, and war, perhaps moving into higher expressions of adoption helps make amends for that and honors our ancestors and their families, and we can start living a new way, offering mercy as justice, offering evolution as justice instead of war and remediation and punishment and so on and so forth. And so that is super thrilling, especially because how we can conserve so much energy by just taking care of ourselves from where we are and offering our beautiful creative gifts in a way that heals so magically and alchemically beyond belief. And that is super thrilling. And we want to do a rune and a charm for you before we wrap up. So we're closing our eyes and we're going to pick a charm to let us linger on. And we have the skull with the rose, reminding us of our heads. Each year, our head's not the same. Each season, our head's not the same. And so if you added up all the heads that you've discarded from yourself because you've changed, you would have a really long necklace of skulls. And what wisdom we have learned. That flower there on the top of the skull, that rose, you may appreciate, or however that flower looks to you. Maybe it looks more like a daisy. Maybe you find joy in those flowers helping you shift through, or just the knowledge of all the wisdom you have acquired throughout your years, and turn that lost card over to see your superpowers and the gifts you may offer yourself in the world now that we don't have to force march or fight or struggle. We can do our work and heal, and that is thrilling. And let's pick a rune. But let me first move these cards so we have a little more space. Thank you so much for hanging out with us in this session. It is really thrilling to be collaborating with you, building this new earth. Let's see. So we have some lepidolite to help keep our balance, and some iolite to activate our third eye, our dreams, and we have some bones from powwow in Georgia, from the beautiful indigenous people of this land that we are sharing. And we are thrilled to be able to make amends for harm done in the past by stepping into higher states of adoption and tagging out when we are so mad that we want to hurt ourselves or somebody else. Not really, right? We don't want to do that anymore. We've had enough experiences to know that doesn't feel correct. That really hurts ourselves and others. And so knowing to tag out when we get mad, that's our sign to tag out instead of march forward. Makes amends, heals generations forwards and backwards. Our ancestors are so grateful, and we are so grateful for them. And also tagging into your healing cards. You know, you tag out when you're so mad, you want to hurt yourself or somebody else. And what do when you're tagging out? You play your healing cards. You have a whole deck of cards stacked. And of course, your lost cards are in there. You've written them in pencil, honoring that the brilliant flip side's going to come to you at just the right time. But you also have joy cards in there. And Perhaps you love playing guitar and that helps you lift your spirits, or you love painting and that lifts your spirits. And or maybe, you know, sometimes you just need to cry, and so you have developed a pretty corner in your house where you can just cry. You have the tissue there, you have a beautiful cry towel to wipe your tears. You have all the pieces in place, like your own home spa. So when you are feeling so sad that you've gone mad and now you need to tag out and play your cards, you're set. You have a bunch of different things you could do, whatever feels correct, because you've got that stack of cards that you can pull off yourself and pick a card to play through that moment. And if you don't like that card, you can pick another card. And if you want to hear more about that, you can tap into my link tree in my bio. There's about 14 sessions about playing your cards, as well as on YouTube, Chacho Busin. But you're already playing your cards. You've been playing your cards. It's your personal and professional development plan for life in the form of a game. Isn't that awesome? And then, you know, you can put it on the shelf to go about your day and take care of yourself and have fun. And you feel fabulous because you have a plan to help you play through the loss. Those times when you get so grief-struck by loss, you want to hurt yourself or someone else, but not really. And so that is thrilling. Perhaps you find it thrilling. I find it thrilling. Like, oh my God, I don't have to hurt myself or anybody else anymore. I can focus on healing and helping others do the same. This beautiful scent is Sunny Summer Day from Iliona's Herbals. So maybe you're smelling that yummy summer scent. And let us end with a rune. And I'm just going to pick one from this pile. And here we are. And energy. I am feeling energy. I have my eyes shut. Let's see what this rune is. Oh, interesting. I feel like this is the energy to get through our challenges. And maybe we're going to roll that dice for you as well. So let's see what that rune is. I am learning. I sense that might be, let's see, Thurisa. Thurisa. And the letters are DH or TH. And this is protection or self-discipline is needed to avoid chaos, like we were just speaking to. Tagging out our madness is our white flag to tag out, and having the self-discipline to catch ourselves, to slow ourselves down from that racing around, from engaging in that racism where we're racing to practice, to school, to work, to the grocery store, slowing down, having the self-discipline to slow down, understanding we don't need to force march and race around anymore. That's violence, that's racism. And that perhaps that it levels the playing field. Like, you know, it's all of us humans, you know, engaging in racism, so we can stop racing around and see that racism transmute into love. And having the self-discipline to tag out when you're mad is one of the keys that we have found, and maybe you appreciate that as well. And that offers you protection. That offers you safe boundaries. That offers you homeland security in a very safe and sound way when you decide of your own free will, hey, I'm going to tag out when I get mad because I know I'm really sad, instead of force marching and hurting other people or myself. And that is super thrilling. And so if you were able to do that, the Spudisa, you get that protection, you get that self-discipline that's needed to avoid chaos, and that is thrilling. So you have that. That is wonderful. And so you may notice that adversity, that rigor, that harm, the conflicts offering you to go inside, to tag out, and to practice that self-discipline in a new but old way. Like you've been doing it, you know, right? And perhaps this is just an extra affirmation that you needed to hear today, that you're on the right track. And the word associated with this is spine. I love that because I was getting the feeling of energy, and that energy running up and down your spine and your nervous system. Encased within that, you may enjoy doing some sound healings for your nervous system, tapping into different healers who may help you calm your nervous system. Now that we are not racing around, engaging in war and forced march, you may need to deprogram that nervous system. And also with the sun is evolving, there's major solar flares. That means we are evolving and we're feeling that extra energy. So you may take extra time to soothe yourself, to calm yourself. Maybe just putting your hands on wood helps calm yourself, or leaning against a tree. Those healing treatments, all the different ways we can calm ourselves and really enjoy that gift that we have to heal ourselves. The body that makes itself heals itself, and that is thrilling. Your spine is your magic wand, and the period associated with this is the 30th of July through the 13th of August. The time is 14:30 to 15:29, and words associated with this are enchantment, strategy, fruitful projects, calculations, and also risk of weakening for those who break the rules. Good luck to be gathered before the unexpected dispels it. So yes, just reminders to abide the messages you are hearing within yourself, your clairs that may be activating right now with the sun evolving, and we're in the age of Aquarius. Maybe you're noticing more of your clairsentience, different feelings in your body that you're exploring. Maybe you're feeling sensations in your heart, and maybe it's the clairaudience you're hearing. More messages from your spirit guides, and you're learning how to differentiate and discern between yourself and others. The clairvoyance, the clairgoustiance, all the different ways these your intuition speaks to you, and to honor that, to follow your own rules that your body is showing you, right? We're all different psychosocial science experiments, and what works for one person may be different than what works for another. So to honor you and to affirm what is, to allow you to keep following your truth as it keeps unfolding, as you are shifting from here to there, especially if you have decided, yes, I am shifting out of a low state of adoption and moving into a high state of adoption. I am laying down my arms. I am not engaging in the fight. I am deprogramming my amygdala. And so honoring that and standing, resting, I was going to say standing firm, but then I don't want to say that because it sounds like you're digging in. Accepting, abiding, embracing, admitting, accepting, abiding, embracing your truths. That's what I want to say. And the more that you are trusting that and following that and taking the time to do that, you're protected and surrounded, and you can lean into your spirit team for assistance, and you may enjoy exploring your community around you for different resources that resonate with you to help you take care of your body, because this is what we're being invited to do with all the new energies coming in from the universe, is how do we remain calm, cool, and collected, and drop into our bodies and check out, what does our body need? Do we need some water? Do we need to hydrate? Right? Emotions are like water, and so maybe hydration is something we need, or a salt bath, or hearing that water sound treatment. All the different ways we can take care of ourselves, we're being invited to explore, and that is super thrilling, to learn how to take care of yourself so sweetly, and setting that lead for your families and friends just from your own sweet space, and they see you taking care of yourself, and it inspires them to take care of themselves. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful age of Aquarius that is unfolding. And what else do we want to share with you? Oops, look at that last rune. The dice. Let's roll the dice and our horsies and see. We'll end with this. We have Aries, the starter, and your head. And you may notice lots happening in your head. And also the reminder, Aries is the starter, loves to just jump in and go full steam ahead. But right now we're being invited to really give ourselves extra space. Make sure that we're giving ourselves extra space so we can keep safe, prevent accidents from happening, right? The sun's growing, we're growing. And, you know, when you grow, you might trip and fall. You want to give yourself extra space if you trip over your feet because you've just grown a foot, right? Spiritually. So give yourself extra space, others extra space. Take extra care of your head. Maybe you give yourself a cranial sacral therapy. You rub your head, give yourself some head treatments. Also, your south node, you're coming out of your comfort zone. Those of you who have decided, yes, I'm moving out of a low state of adoption into a high state of adoption. It was really comfortable. I stayed there for over 40 years. And then when I was trying to step out, that took me some time, right? Since 2009, tripping and falling, because that old way of life, it was really comfortable. I knew that. It was dependable. I really knew how to fight well and fuck well, freeze well, and fawn well. It was really comfortable, but we're being invited to step out of that. And so to be gentle with yourself. Oh my God, that's the north node. Sorry, I just went all over that. So we're stepping out of our comfort node into the north node, and right? Or is that the south node? Oh my God. Sometimes I get a little dyslexic. So quadruple check me. So north node and south node. The south node is your comfort zone. Like I was explaining, for me, it was that fight, flight, freeze, fuck, fawn. It was really comfortable to operate from my amygdala. I was really powerful. I knew how to do it. I could fucking kill you with my fucking tongue, right? But now we're stepping out of that and stepping into our hero's journey and doing something different. And then the number 10 came out, building heaven on earth and starting a new chapter. And what a beautiful sign to end on, to end this reading on. And thank you so much for taking such sweet care of yourself, for steering clear of danger, for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit magic, and for playing with yourself, your cards. Heartily, we are grateful. Ciao for now. We love you all.